Hey, it's Aran here. In this video, I want to tell you about a couple of tools that are really relevant to being a digital nomad and a traveler. And I figured this is going to be relevant for you because they both are just as important. And those two things are number one, VPN, number two, an eSIM. Now, I want to define what those are so you understand what they are and why they are important. So context is that when you are traveling as a digital nomad, obviously you need to have your device and you need to be able to connect to Wi-Fi. And also there are different things you still need to be able to do remotely, whether it's access your banking, whether it's access to your Messenger, your WhatsApp, your emails, all that good stuff. Now, how it works is with an eSIM, which is basically instead of a physical SIM card, you actually have a digital SIM card. That's why it's called eSIM, electronic SIM card. And what that does is you basically can install SIM card digitally as soon as you land in a new country. So let's say I'm flying into a new country. Let's say I'm going to Spain. And in Spain, I can then, of course, connect to the Wi-Fi at the airport using my phone, which is fine. But then while I'm at the airport, I go to a website that is called Airalo, and that's the one that I use for eSIM. There is other websites as well. I primarily use Airalo, and I found it to be really good. And what I do is I find the specific eSIM plan of how many gigabytes and how much it costs. Is it 7 days, 14 days, or a month? Let's say I plan to be in Spain for a month. I will pick the month option and I will connect the eSIM. So I will basically have a connection to my main SIM card and the Spanish eSIM card, basically, which is digital. When I do that, it means that I then have Wi-Fi on my phone and I don't need to use international roaming because my phone is in Australia, from Australia, that's the number and all that. And if I was to use the Wi-Fi from my Australian phone company, it's gonna cost me $10 a day, easy, if not more. So with an eSIM, you can pay 15 bucks, 10 bucks, or whatever, and you can actually have access for, say, 2 weeks or a week, depending on which country you're at and stuff like that. So having an eSIM is really good when you're traveling. And as soon as you land to an airport, you need to connect to the Wi-Fi at the airport. You need to then go to the Airalo app, and you need to search for the country you just arrived at, and then buy a plan. Then the plan takes, depending on the country you are at, sometimes you might need to get approval. So it might take 20 minutes, half an hour. In most cases, from the dozen plus countries I've been at, for the most part, you can connect within minutes, basically. And it's a very simple installation process. You do need to make sure your phone is compatible. I've never really had any issue because I use iPhone 10 and above, so never really had any problems. But that's something that's really important as a traveler. You don't have to go to a shop at the mall later. You don't need to go to get an eSIM or a SIM card at the airport. You don't need to switch the physical SIM card at the airport. You don't pay tourist prices, none of that stuff. You simply log into the app after you're using the airport Wi-Fi, and then you can create that and set it up in a way where you actually have Wi-Fi so you can use Google Maps and all that. And if you ever run out, you also get notified you're about to run out. You can then top up directly from the phone. So that part is really handy, and that's something that I would recommend. The second thing for digital nomads as well is something called VPN. And I use a software called Surfshark. There is other VPN companies. VPN stands for Virtual Privacy Network, I believe. And what it does basically, it masks your location. Now, this is actually relevant depending on where you are in the world because there is some benefits to it which are more for entertainment purposes. For example, if you have a subscription to Netflix and you bought it, in my case, in Australia, but now you are in Bali, if you want to have the Netflix version of Australia versus the Bali version, then you can basically connect your VPN to Australia so it appears like you're in Australia. This is actually really handy as well if you're a sports fanatic like me and you want to watch games that are not streaming in your country. Let's say there's some game and I know it's being streamed in the UK. I can actually connect the streaming service to the UK, not the streaming service, the VPN to the UK, and then I can actually watch the game and find a channel that does do that on my phone for free and stuff like that. So it's kind of handy for sports lovers as well. You have that opportunity. There's other situations where certain apps that may be working in your own country, like if I'm in Australia and I want to connect to my banking app, I doesn't always work for some reason. So if I connect my VPN to Australia and I make it seem like I'm in Australia, then all of a sudden the app works. I also have the flip side where there are certain websites that when I have VPN turned on, I actually don't get access and it's not working for some reason. So you have to be watchful when you are using VPN. The other thing you need to be aware of when you're using VPN, a lot of times the public Wi-Fi's you might be using in coffee shops and things like that may not work. So there's different variables as well. So there's times to use VPNs and times when you wouldn't use VPNs. Another point is like I'm in the UAE right now in Dubai, and here there is no WhatsApp phone calls, no Instagram phone calls, there's no Messenger phone calls. You can text, you cannot accept phone calls. Technically, you can override that if you were to use a VPN and make it seem like you are in Australia or in the UK or whatever, then it might actually work at that stage. So that may or may not be something that's always going to be that way, but you just need to be aware of those options, basically. VPNs as a general thing, there is a paid option. There might be some free options. I'm not familiar with too many VPN companies. I just happen to be using a VPN called Surfshark. It's a recommendation a friend gave me ages ago, and that's what I've been using, and it's worked great for me. I don't remember exactly how much I pay, but it is very negligible, maybe $50 a year or $30 a year, something along these lines. Either way, there's going to be a link below. You can check it out, aran.link/Surfshark. And that's the VPN company that I use. It's reliable, it works great, no issues at all. The VPN is on your phone and the VPN is also on your computer. So that's what I want to share with you about that. With Airalo and eSIMs and stuff like that, you can just visit aran.link/eSIM and you'll be able to check it out. And again, both of these links are actually affiliate links as well. So I do affiliate those because I do use them. I do love using them. They save me time. They help me make my life easier as a digital nomad. And it's definitely something that as a digital nomad, you actually want to have. So hope you found this particular video helpful on the review on eSIM, Airalo, and also Surfshark, and why in conjunction they need to be used, or I recommend you use them if you were to be doing traveling as a digital nomad, or even if you're traveling in general. Thanks. See you in the next video.